the end of the Bible, we find the descriptions of the prophet Ezekiel. He was a high priest in Jerusalem, and at his time, Jerusalem was captured by the Babylonians. So Ezekiel was one of the slaves working for the Babylonians outside in the desert. And of a sudden, the heavens opened, and all the slaves saw an object coming down. And Ezekiel, in the beginning, he believes that must be God, the Almighty God. So he fell down on his knees, and then he realized this is not God. And he starts to describe what he sees. In front of his eyes stands a gigantic chariot with a light, a glittering of light. He describes the wheels. He says the wheels can go in every direction, forward and backward, right and left, without turning itself. You see, in the Bible, for example, shortly there is mentioned the man with the name of Enoch. And in the Bible you only read that Enoch was a prophet before the great flood, and Enoch was the first human who disappeared in a fiery chariot. Then, nearly 200 years ago, an Englishman was in Ethiopia, and there in the old library he found a book called the Book of Enoch. And the prophet Enoch clearly says he was 12 years old when something descended from the sky, again with loud noise. The whole community of the village were afraid and ran away, but the 12-year-old Enoch was standing there. And then two people came close to him. At least they looked like people, but they had glittering suits on, and they had helmets. So these two strangers say to Enoch, to the boy, "If you wish, we will take you up over the sky, over the earth, and we will show you your planet from above." And the 12-year-old one says, "Yes, I wish to do so." So these three people, two strangers and Enoch, they make a few steps away. And one of the strangers says to Enoch, "Human, you smell terribly. You stink." So the human had to push himself into the water. Then he comes out of the water. They give him a cream. He should put this cream over his whole body. And later they give him some sort of suit, the same suit which they were on. And he was looking glittering like the others. Then they go up. Of course, Enoch has no technological words. He cannot explain what it was. He has no word like space shuttle or mother spaceship. He simply explains, "When I was up there, I wish to fall down to the earth. So if someone wishes to fall down to the earth, he cannot be on earth." Then he said, the high place on which we stood always turned up and turned down. Of a sudden, I saw our Earth, the planet Earth, up, and I saw the stars down. Now soon as you are in a mother spaceship, which surrounds the Earth in an orbit, this mothership itself would turn around its own axis. By turning around its own axis, you create an artificial gravity by the centrifugal force. So it's a must to turn a spaceship around its own axis. Now, all these things are scientific information. It's not just a wish or a dream. The informations are too precise. And the universe is endless, and there are thousands, billions forms of life. Well, I had the chance to come together with brilliant people. And some of these brilliant men, they told me they know that there are extraterrestrials. For example, Ed Mitchell. Ed Mitchell, it was an American astronaut. He was the sixth man on the moon. And he told me, "Eric, I was officially informed that extraterrestrials do exist. Every time before we leave," and the same happens with other astronauts, including the Russian astronauts, every time before we leave, we receive a briefing. And some of the scientists tells us, astronauts, "Listen, you will probably see during your flight some things out there which you could not believe before that they do exist. Now you are not allowed to speak in your radio, with the Earth, that you have seen UFOs or extraterrestrials." So, and there are other people who really, Professor Dr. Carl Sagan. Sagan was a Harvard professor, a brilliant man, and he was all in the beginning against this UFO stuff. And he said, Eric, we are just one of the species of thousands of species which exist around us. We have just separated ourselves. Sooner or later, we will make contact with them again. It's all a question of slowly developing, because if we, from one day to the other, our scientific community or our politics would go on television and say, hey, we have contact with extraterrestrials, they are here, they are observing us, humanity would be shocked, completely shocked, because the scientists, which are the serious people, told us extraterrestrials do not exist. And if they exist, we will never come together because the distances between the stars are much too big. So what the scientific community told us was only partly true, and a big part of it is wrong. So we are shocked. We have to learn slowly, step by step, that we are not alone.